So Palisades, a massive hidden gem in the Overdrive world. A lot of other videos focus on stuff like the voice and the bandwidth and, the various little features of this pedal. And we will hit that stuff necessarily, but I'm also going to talk about why I think this deserves to be in the conversation when it comes to great overdrives like the King of Tone or the Klon or anything else that goes for these obscene prices on the used market. I think a big disservice is done to this pedal because a lot of people think of it as just being a TS-808 mod, a tube screamer mod, and where in my mind, the King of Tone is to the Blues Breaker like the Palisades is to the TS-808. All right, we're just going to start with my favorite settings. Number 5, the symmetrically clipped silicon, and I'll show you all the stuff that this does. In many circumstances, that's all I need. You wouldn't think that a TS-808 clone could do that, This is not a TS-808 sound. Whee! If you wanted to go for like the more crazed bass response of something like an OCD, you could hit it with bandwidth 4. Kind of do one of those. And then sort of adjust from there. But I always find that with this pedal, bandwidth 3 is really what just allows the guitar's frequencies to speak best. There's my clean. Okay, this setting here is, I think, probably in some ways the most remarkable setting on this pedal, the LED. There's something about LED clipping. I'm not sure why more pedal manufacturers don't use it. I don't know if there's some reliability issue or some sort of consistency issue there, but LED clipping to me, when done correctly, is the most tube-like of all the diodes. The other kind of quirk about this pedal, one other little thing to note, I have Palisades number 167. It's a first generation. And one thing you might have noticed is that when you kick those switches, it's like a bomb went off. Now check this out. This is Earthquaker V2. That's V1. All right, one more little demonstration here before we pack it up and I give my final thoughts. The Classic 50 is at 5, volume-wise, and the Bassman is at 3. And we notice I got the boost activated, and we're on one of the gainiest settings that this pedal has to offer. It's like one of the quietest pedals that I've ever owned in my life. And in a professional setting, that is like one of the greatest things on earth, just to be standing there dead silent and be able to break right into it. It's much more important than you'd think. So here's the bottom line with this pedal. You can hear that in this room, it sounds obviously really good. This is a great sounding room. It's got good acoustics, nothing's too bassy. You know, it's relatively neutral, a little wet, but you know, it sounds great in here. It sounds great in any setting. I've played this thing in small stadiums. I've played it in theaters. I've played it in small clubs tucked into some small, you know, little corner, some nasty, bassy little corner. I've played it in tented events like weddings and corporate events and stuff like that. And it sounds good in any situation. You know, between the bandwidth, the tone, the buffer for long cable runs, the normal bright switch, just with those alone, you can get an entire world of tone shaping options if you don't even include the voice and the different clipping types that you get.